Oh my god, look at this, folks. That is absolutely stunning, and again showcases not only what X-Plane 12 can look like, but look at the cockpit here. This is a very nice place to be. This is the kind of office I'm talking about. Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. It gives me great pleasure to introduce a new aircraft for X-Plane 12 and gives me a chance again to showcase the magic of X-Plane 12 VR. And this is the new Just Flight in collaboration with Thranda Archer 3. And we're going to take it for a bit of a test flight here today. I'm going to show you some of the features of it. And this is a completely reworked model for X-Plane 12, which means it has a way better flight model now, taking advantage of all those clever new features of this sim. It also has 8K textures throughout the aircraft, inside and out. See here, we've got bug splatters, chips, paint wear. It looks very, very nice here. Look at that prop, how it's quite weathered as well. It looks beautiful in the sort of midday sun here. We're currently at Kirkbride, and we're going to go for a spin around the Lake Districts. So yeah, if you're interested, climb board. I'm in the Pimax Crystal 57 PPD module. Now, this aircraft should be released on Tuesday of next week. So whatever date that is, I'll put on the screen now. If this goes live before then or after then, you'll already know that. But in any case, yeah, this is a very nice addition for the general aviation fans for X-Plane 12. And if we go inside, it's really very nice in here, I have to say. The textures really shine in the cockpit. They look super, super sharp, as you can imagine, in the 57 PPD module. And I do love how you can mess around with all these switches with the controllers and stuff. It's very, very cool. So there's quite a few unique features with this bird, particularly if I just show you the iPad here. And notice how it's kind of cool the way X-Plane 12 handles VR. You know, you can just move things around anywhere you want. I really like that. And this tablet from Just Flight has a whole host of features here. You've got aircraft options. You've got weight and balance, instrument options as well. You can have the GNS 530. If we go to the engine configuration here, you can simulate spark plug fouling and vapor lock. We'll have that on. You can recharge the battery and refuel the wings, of course, as well. And I think the oil temperature and everything is also monitored. It's not like an A2A bird, not quite that in depth, but you do have to monitor the systems of this, which I really like. We have static liveries, but in what I'm going to show you here is the dynamic livery system, which is very, very cool indeed. If you want to create your own livery, you can do so in the sim itself. You don't have to mess around with a third-party application. So if you want to make it... Now, I'm not the best person to do this kind of thing, so just ignore this. So if you wanted a very crazy-looking livery, you can change the different stripes, the vertical stabilizer, the wings. Maybe we'll have pink wings, wing tips you can change. I'm going to make mine look absolutely awful because, well, you just get the idea. And then you can then save it and use it for later on. So I really like how you've got this within the sim itself, and people out there that are talented and can make some really nice liveries will have a field day with this new feature. So that's very cool. Whoops, I like that was all modeled as well. So let's just go back to this because I'm not going to mess around too much today, but I thought I'd just show you that we've got the checklist system here, which you can all tick off, I presume. Yeah, you can. That's great. Ground handling, oh yeah, that's the X-Plane 12 feature, like that. Flight computer. So yeah, it is very well featured, and of course all works in VR really, really well. And we're going to go for a flight around the Lake District. I think she's looking very nice here. This is default scenery as well. This is not a payware add-on or anything like that. This is my first flight in this thing. So parking brake is set. Radio master is off. Mixture is idle. Mag switch is in the off position, I believe. I've got my alpha yoke today. Fuel gauges, we've got plenty of fuel. Annunciator panel check. I think that's probably this button here. Yep, that's all working. I really like the textures in this. Are very, very sharp. Beautiful. So battery master switch, well, I'll switch that off again. Primary flight controls are all good. Flaps are up at the moment. Trim is in a neutral position. Baggage door is closed. Flap and aileron undamaged. I presume they are. Let's hope so. Wingtip and lights check. We've just done that. Tie downs. We need to remove them. That's something we need to do actually. So it's a good job I did do the checklist. We can do that here. So take all them. I don't think you can do it from the outside view. I think that's more of an MSFS thing. Back to the checklist here. Fuel tanks checked, all good. Chocks are now removed. Tow bar is removed. We've got some fresh oil in this aircraft. It's brand new, so we're all good there. Propeller in good condition. It's not bad, but you can see here it is quite worn, to be honest, but that's fine. So yeah, I think we're all good there for that part. And okay, I see. Before starting engine, brakes set, circuit breakers. Actually, are they modelled in this? Let's have a look. Let's just remove this. Yes, they are. Look at that. They're all modelled. That's always nice to see that. Just shows the attention to detail. So circuit breakers are all in. Carb heat is off. Radio master off. Fuel selected to the desired tank, which we'll now do now. All with the controller, which I really like. The controllers in VR in X-Plane 12 works so much better than in MSFS. So the alternator can now be switched on, as well as the battery. I can do that with my Alpha, but I thought I'd just show you that in action here. I'm not sure. Do we have a beacon light? I don't think we do on this. As I say, this is the first flight, so I'm not entirely sure. There, oh, they work very nicely as well. Very cool. As I say, I really love the VR control, and the haptic feedback feels good as well. We'll just prime the system. Fuel pump can be switched on. Throttle cracked. Mixture fully rich. I'm going to open the window here. I'm going to shut up and let's hear these beautiful sounds. Clip her up. Oh, my brakes was not. My parking brake was not on, so my bad there. I think that might have been a binding thing that happened there. So let's just go outside and hear these sounds. That started a bit too quick, if I'm honest. I think it needed to kind of splutter a little bit. That was very instant. But just a little observation there. So let's just listen to these sounds for a moment. Okay, so we've got full spatial sounds here, which I really do like. Can't really hear the prop wash at the back, but that's okay. Must actually just say that this is a preview copy. I don't think this is the final released version, so there might be a few things missing from the full release. But she does sound very nice. Let's just go a bit even closer here. It would be nice to see a bit of wobbling from that wing. But no, she does sound nice though. And the proof is in the pudding. I'm looking forward to seeing how she flies. Right, so I could do the whole checklist system, but you get the idea there. We'll just stow that away. Do we have headphone simulation? Yes, we do. Oh, that makes me very happy. I'm a bit of a stickler for that. So, right, with all that being done, we'll put the avionics master on. And looking good there with the GNS 530. Pitot heat. Well, we'll put that on later on. This has also got an autopilot. It's very well kitted out, this one. So we'll put our nav light on. We'll put the landing light on. Fuel pump can come off at the moment. Oh, it's actually telling me, yeah, the pitot heat needs to be on, so we'll switch that on now. Great stuff. And here we have our panel lights. Oh, they look nice, especially in this headset. This is going to be so nice to fly at night time, especially with X-Plane 12, which is the sim of all sims to fly at night. It really is, so I'm looking forward to that. So we'll just reset our altimeter, and we'll get on our way. I love these views in X-Plane. Brilliant. Now look at the ground handling here and the suspension linkages. It's just, for me, even before we've got into the air, I can just tell it feels more believable. The physics of X-Plane 12, they're a cut above MSFS, guys. They really are. Right then, so you find us backtracking on the runway here. It does sound really, really nice. I am a bit of a nerd when it comes to audio. I think it's one of the most important things an add-on must tick off the list. And yeah, this does sound really nice. That engine sounds really beefy as well. Right then, so it's takeoff time, and we'll put just a little stage of flap in there. Make sure the elevator trim, electronic trim, is working, which hopefully it is. And we'll get cracking, folks. So again, I'm going to just close the window, be quiet, and you can hear the sounds of this beautiful bird by Just Flight and Thranda. What a killer combination. Here we go. Oh, she feels fluid. She feels very fluid. Check that out for atmosphere, folks. There's just something about the way X-Plane feels, and I could, try and explain it all day long, but it's just something you have to experience in VR for yourself. Anyone who has X-Plane, they know what I'm talking about. It's just that feeling of being on a cushion of air in a constant moving atmosphere. Being in a little GA plane, and even on a nice day like today, you just feel the wind pushing your aircraft around. And even sat on this chair, I'm not even in my motion rig, it just gives you that sense of flight far better. And this does feel very nice to fly. Just look at the scattering effects here in X-Plane 12 of the sun and the blooming effects. It's just very natural. Very, very pretty here, and it's going to get even better as we head over to the peaks of the Lake District. So things like, for example, if I just slow down a minute, adverse yaw is just so well done in X-Plane. Look at that, it's so natural. And we'll probably do a stall and maybe a steep turn just to see how she feels in the air. But already it feels like it's unrestricted flying in this. You can tell it's not a scripted event. This is very much about the airflow, and that I'm flying in a constant changing environment, Very pretty model, I must say. Very, very nice. Big fan of the spatial sounds. Now, of course, X-Plane 12 is very, very challenging to record in VR. So there will be some shimmering because that's still a bit of an issue with the sim, and it actually looks way worse on the recording than it does in the headset itself, especially for some reason in the 57 ppd. The resolution scales really well to this panel, so you need less anti-aliasing. So in the headset, it actually looks far better, unfortunately, than what you're seeing on the screen. So sorry about that, folks, but it's something you'll just have to experience for yourself, hopefully. But let me tell you, the atmosphere here is just really remarkable. And I love what Laminar Research are doing with X-Plane 12 now. The weather, the cloud rendering just looks so much better now. There's less artifacts. It's slowly but surely becoming a very, well, it already is a serious contender for one of the best, if not the best, flying experiences you can have while sat in your pajamas, which I'm doing right now. You won't notice that though, because I've got a normal t-shirt on, but I'm actually sat in my pajamas. And yeah, apart from that, killing the immersion a little bit, it feels pretty damn real to me. So anyway, let's just take the fuel pump back on again, and we'll check the oil pressure. T's and P's are all in the green. Change to the right tank. Fuel pressure is still good. Take the fuel pump off, and we'll leave the landing light on because we're doing a bit of a low flight here today, and it's a little bit on the misty side. I might even change the weather in a minute, we'll see. Right folks, so I've just changed the weather a little bit here, and the time of day perhaps as well. And I've also taken my camera off, as you can see, because I did freeze. That was NVIDIA broadcast being annoying, but you don't really want to see me anyway, so that doesn't really matter, because it's all about this aircraft and the scenery. What a wonderful steed this is for your cross-country shenanigans in the sim. Starting to wonder, that's not no, that can't be Hard-Knot Pass, is it? Don't think it is. It could be, you know, actually. If you're not aware, folks, Hard-Knot Pass is the steepest road in Great Britain, I believe, in the UK. And I've been up there many times over the years. Although I don't think that's it, actually. I'm not sure. This is where the resolution isn't quite as sharp as you would find in MSFS. But again, I reiterate, and I will say this a lot, folks, and I don't even care if I sound like a broken record. X-Plane 12 is for the feeling of flight. See there how we're moving around in the air? I'm not doing that, that's just that's what it is, that's what it's like, folks, in a real aircraft, especially one of this size. You feel everything. Oh, it's starting to get a bit pretty now. Look at that. You can even see the snow there on top of Skiddaw. Yeah, this is where X-Plane starts to really come alive now. It's so good to have a high quality general aviation aircraft released again from Just Flight, with Thranda as well. Let me tell you folks, those two words, Just Flight and Thranda, are very, very formidable in the X-Plane 12 space. And over the years I have reviewed a lot of Thranda's aircraft for X-Plane 12. And this is no exception in terms of their quality. This is fantastic. It feels so lovely to fly. I'm definitely a big fan of the cockpit as well. You can definitely tell that the texture quality has been really improved here for this release. So I think it's now time to say welcome to the Lake District, because this is what it's all about here, folks. Look at these visuals. Absolutely friggin' beautiful. Wow. In the Pimax Crystal Super, this is just looking so good. And yes, I am still a big fan of the 57 ppd module. I just prefer that extra bit of sharpness and the extra bit of performance you get as well. And I'm not a massive field of view guy, so for me this is fine. And oh, look at that there. That's a screenshot and a half. And we've got plenty of power here to get over that ridge, hopefully. So just lean the mixture back a bit because, as I say, this aircraft does simulate the fouling of the plugs and vapor lock. Getting a little bit of an updraft, which is helping us here get over this ridge. Let's go outside and enjoy the views. No, actually, I think, yeah, Hard Knot Pass is just over there. And it heads over here to Ambleside. And over there in the distance, that is Lake Coniston. And a bit further, in fact, sorry, that's Lake Coniston to the right. That's Lake Windermere to the left. Oh, yes, please. Oh, you've asked for... Okay, so I've asked for a coffee and you've already made it. That's impressive, thank you. Oh, lovely. Sorry, folks. Sorry for this little interlude here. I've just been given a coffee. How did you make that? I didn't think we had any left. Oh, that's right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, and this is more of a decaf coffee person. I'm more of the caffeinated kind of guy. So that works. Especially as we have a 1-month-old baby, and he's certainly keeping us on our toes, that's for sure. And making YouTube content is even more harder now than it used to be. But anyway, right, let's not rag the engine too much here. We're redlining. Just take that back a bit. And yeah, all is well. Let's just open this window to see... Oh, hang on, no, there's no effect there. Okay, that's something that needs to be fixed. Let me just take the headphone simulation out and do that again. Yeah, there's nothing there. So again, this is a preview, and things I'm sure will change for the full release, and even after release there will be certain things that will be added to this aircraft. As you know, Just Flight are one of the very few developers out there that really stand by their aircraft releases. You know, once it's out there, don't think that's it, because they upgrade their aircraft even over years. If you think about all the aircraft they've updated to MSRP 2024 for free, you know, and adding new features as well, that really has to be appreciated and highlighted, because the amount of man hours that must take, I can't even imagine. Alright then folks, so if we look to our right here, that is Lake Windermere disappearing off our sort of 5 o'clock there. And then over this way, we're now going to fly over Striding Edge. Down to our left is Ambleside. And we might even get a nice glimpse of Ullswater as well. I think it's, yeah, called Ullswater. It's been a while, folks. It's been a while since I've been to Lake District. So we need a bit of power to get it up to these peaks. I believe Striding Edge, it's around 3,000 feet or so. I remember when I was climbing Striding Edge as a boy with my dad, and an RAF, yeah, I nearly said Typhoon then, it wasn't, it was a Tornado GR4, flew beneath us. It was the first time I ever saw an RAF jet from, you know, literally looking down onto it. That was quite an amazing experience, I remember that. And at the top of Striding Edge, it was just full of ice and it was quite dangerous. Not for the faint-hearted, to be fair. Right then folks, get ready. Ullswater will appear on the right hand side. I think the only thing that lets it down is that awful shimmering effect that X-Plane 12 still seems to have as an issue there. That's a shame, isn't it? I hope they can get that fixed soon. I try and look past all that, you know, sometimes, and see the potential for this sim. And, you know, this actual scenery, well, it's the X-Plane 12 upgrade, but really, this is very old scenery, but I still think it looks fantastic. And what we'll do in a minute, just to finish, we'll change to a sunset kind of theme, because I think that will look really fantastic with this cockpit as well. Because I really love the lighting in this. Very, very nice indeed. We've got an autopilot here. I'm not going to mess around with that for this particular video. This is all hands-on, and I must remember to do a stall as well to see how she feels. But first of all, time to get back into tour mode, because we're about to fly over Striding Edge. Well, I'll tell you what, folks, I'm struggling here. I can feel I'm in a downdraft. So you're not going to get the best view here of Striding Edge, unfortunately. Yeah, sorry about that. I am struggling here and I need to be very careful. But anyway, let's now go into the weather settings here. And we'll just change that to a few clouds. And maybe, no, we'll tell you what, we'll do a bit of a dusk scene here. That'll look really nice, I think. Oh my god, look at this, folks. That is absolutely stunning. And again, showcases not only what X-Plane 12 can look like, but look at the cockpit here. This is a very nice place to be. This is the kind of office I'm talking about. Oh yeah, very, very nice. Let's just get rid of that and mess around with some of the lighting here. Yeah, that is very well done. Beautifully designed. And that is a view right there. And this is where, for me personally, X-Plane 12 really excels. You've got the beautiful lighting off there. You can see the cars in the distance, which are just done so much better. And just the lighting in general feels so good. Unfortunately, as I say, it's so hard to record in VR. Right, let's now do a bit of a stall here. Some general handling maneuvers before we end the video. Over the mountains, yeah, that's really safe, isn't it? But we'll be alright. We've got a bit of clearing here, just to see how she feels. Right, we'll just get up to about 3,000 feet, gently pull back on the throttle. Mixture fully rich here. Oh, wrong way around. That's because it's the bindings the wrong way around, and also we'll put the fuel pump on. There we go. And we'll just do a bit of a sedate stall. Now with the low wing design, it should feel pretty mushy and fairly sedate. Yeah, you see there, look, you see the vertical speed now falling away. We're now falling out of the sky here. I'm just on the edge here, just push back a little bit more. Look at that, yeah, you can feel the buffet. That's very, very well done. And a little bit of a, yeah, brilliant. A left wing drop there. Can't already talk there because it all happened very quickly. But that is absolutely spot on to the real aircraft. We'll do that again. We'll do a power on stall this time to see how that is any different. Looking out for traffic here, all fine. I think we've got the skies to ourselves. I am using Just Flight FS traffic, by the way, as well. So a power on stall, flaps up as well. Oh god, I'm feeling a bit of a kick there to the right already. Should we try a spin? Oh wow! Oh, she spins very nicely there. That is really good. I was actually quite surprised because that's one thing X-Plane, personally, in my opinion, doesn't do so well is spin characteristics. But that felt absolutely spot on, and you can see here now the attitude indicator has been affected by that. Oh dear. So I think we'll leave that there. But that did feel very fluid. And as we fly over Keswick once again, I must say I give this aircraft full marks for X-Plane 12. It's a great addition to your hangar. And as you can see, the beauty is not just skin deep. She flies really well. And has some pretty nice systems. particularly with the spark plug fouling, the fuses. You've got to check your T's and P's. Make sure that you've recharged the battery, check the oil. There is some of that involved with this. I'm not sure there's actual engine failure physics though. I'm not entirely sure about that one. But I like how we can take the window reflections off as well. That's something I wish we had that in MSFS for some aircraft. So yeah, and again, I really do like this dynamic livery. Let me look at the state of that. But you know, talented people out there that can make a beautiful livery will be able to do all that within the sim itself. And not only that, you can do it in VR. That's pretty damn cool. You can even change your registration. But I will say, when you apply that, I wouldn't do that in VR because it does, you know, just pause the sim for a few minutes as it loads all the textures in. And being 8K textures, that does take a while. Right then, I think we're going for a landing and wrap this video up. Can't beat a flyby, folks, although I must say the strobe lights look a bit pants. Let's try that again. That might be, again, an X-plane thing. External, still spots, here we go. Oh, that's some meaty sounds right there. Very, very nice. Right then, folks, well, as we enjoy this beautiful scene here, we're going to head into Carlisle to get this attitude indicator looked at. But as I say, this has been the Just Flight and Thranda brand new Archer 3 for X-Plane 12, reworked for X-Plane 12 with dynamic liveries as a new feature, which I really do like, especially for those out there that can actually make a decent livery, unlike me. And of course the 8K textures throughout look fantastic, especially inside as well. I think the cockpit just looks absolutely beautiful. And that cockpit lighting is to die for. It is just so gorgeous. A very nice place to be. I really like the reworked sounds as well. So it really is a very nice addition to your general aviation hangar, in my opinion. Right, so fuel pump is on. Landing light is on, and we're on the fullest tank. I'm going to come in for a landing here at Carlisle. We'll just we're not quite in the flap range yet, so we'll just slow down a bit here. I really love as well that we've got headphone simulation. That's really cool. So yeah, I think it's a fully featured bird, especially for X-Plane 12. And of course the updated flight dynamics, you really definitely feel that, especially at critical phases of flight. Like, I was really surprised with that spin. She's a slippery beast. I might have to do a bit of side slipping, which I always like to do anyway. And look at that, in X-Plane 12, side slipping actually works. Can you see that? The amount of drag. And that's because all of the aerofoils, the wind is being calculated God knows how many times a second. And with that extra drag through the air, as slowed us down a treat. You don't get that as well in MSFS, you just don't. Not unless you spend a lot of money on something like an A2A bird, you know? But yeah, this does feel, I'm going to say it again, folks, I'm sorry, but very, very fluid, very alive. Coming in quite high here, but that's okay. I can't wait to try this with my force feedback yoke as well, because as I say, I'm just using my Alpha, which is a great yoke, don't get me wrong, but feeling this with force feedback controls would be the icing on the cake here. Oh, look at that for an outside landing. That will do nicely. He says, whoa, a bit squirrel on the brakes. Oh, there we go. Trying to be too clever, doing it from the outside is a bit tricky. So that's it for today's video. We've been in the Pimax Crystal Super 57 ppd module, checking out the very latest version of X-Plane 12, which is magical in VR, has to be said, especially when it comes to flying, which is kind of important for Flight Simulator. And this has been the brand new Just Flight in collaboration with Thranda Archer 3. I highly recommend it. It is a beauty. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care, and bye for now. Very, very nice. In fact, yeah, I'll put the landing light on, fuel pump off, lean the mixture a little bit, take the headphone simulation out. Whoa! Yeah, my rudder pedals are a little bit too sensitive. Yeah, and that needs to be fixed because there's no change in sound when you open the storm window. Just a little bug there. I'm sure that will get fixed. Yeah, this is one very nice general aviation aircraft. The perfect companion for that VFR tour. And if you are still with me, thank you very much for watching the full video. It really means a lot. I know long form content on YouTube doesn't really do so well, but this is what the channel's all about. At the end of the day, it's not about new VR headsets and stuff. It's about this, flying, experiencing it, and using the hardware for the purpose it was designed for. And on that note, let's just kill the engine, see what that sounds like. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like that. Especially how the prop kind of wobbles as well. Anyway, folks, I'm definitely going now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye for now.